Just for the hell of it, I thought I'd give my reaction to President Obama's decision to send more troops to Afghanistan. Um, you know, I think it's a bad idea. I think, what are you going to change? That's what I want to know. What are you going to change? Petraeus, who's McChrystal's boss, his own counterinsurgency strategy says a country the size of Afghanistan would require about 400,000 troops and a decade, more than a decade, to conduct a proper counterinsurgency strategy, which is what McChrystal wants to do. So, what's McChrystal asking for 40,000 troops and a year and a half to show progress? Who believes we are going to be able to do anything? I mean, look at things like the Middle East peace process, that just go on for decades. And, they are these insoluble problems, these violent, insoluble problems in the Middle East and South Asia. What do you really think we are going to be able to do about the Taliban in a year and a half? What do you think we're really going to be able to do about Al Qaeda and the Taliban in the Pakistan border region in a year and a half? I mean, what are we really going to accomplish? If by Petraeus' own metrics, we're using way too few troops and taking way too little time to do it. So the only thing I can figure out is that this is like the surge, which did not accomplish any of the stated goals. It was supposed to create this space that all this political accommodation could happen. That didn't happen. And if you read about what's happening in Iraq, it isn't going to happen. Yeah, violence is down, but nobody bothers to notice that that coincides with like a year and a half of horrific killing that effectively ethnically cleansed Baghdad. And then we show up with the surge and put up blast walls that cut off whole neighborhoods and effectively ghettoize and separate the conflicting parties. The Sunni awakening had nothing to do with the surge. It was already ongoing before the surge was talked about, proposed, much less put into effect. So basically, the surge coincided with these people just getting sick of killing each other for a while. But, we did something and calmed down a couple of neighborhoods, and so we get to leave, So I think that's what this has got to be about. It is going to be another marketing gimmick fig leaf, like the surge, that we can, just say, oh, look, we did something. The only danger, a danger amongst the many dangers, which I haven't thought enough of to make a video of, but one danger is that if you give the military industrial complex an inch, they'll take a mile. There is, the Pentagon just seems to love its turf wars about who's valuable and deploying troops. And now that, not only the armaments makers are making money, but you got all these service industries that Dick Cheney created, making money supporting the troops. There's a hell of a lot of money to be made. So that's my biggest worry, a big worry, that, just by trusting the military, which already has been nothing but counterproductive, in Afghanistan, nothing but counterproductive in Iraq. But listening to him this time, what if we get to the end of that 18 months and conditions on the ground, or this crazy insanity that takes hold of, we've got to honor the sacrifice and stay, forget that shit. We can't afford it, So we can't afford it. It'd be nice to play your war game with our tax dollars, but we're out of them for wars that don't do anything to advance our national security interests. So anyhow, there it is, just a diatribe, kind of losing my main point, which is the only explanation I can come up with for increasing these troops in Afghanistan, where there's not an ice cube's chance in hell that we're going to do anything about making Afghanistan a functioning country, where we're not going to do anything about defeating the Taliban, and where we're not going to do anything about our enemies who are still where they were when we originally invaded on the border with Pakistan. We're not going to do anything about any of those things that's effective. So why are we adding more troops? Just to do something and get out.